أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربي إني مغلوبا فانتصر. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you for joining today. Inshallah, we're continuing our discussion on the 15th word. Let me remind us of the verse that the word starts with, and it says, "In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, and we have adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, and we have made them missiles to drive away the evil ones." For the past few times, we've been discussing the meaning of this verse, particularly because the author has identified 7 steps to this verse. And as a reminder, the first step was concerning the angels, and how is it reasonable to conclude that that they exist. And then the second step was concerned with how the angels are descending to the earth. And then today we're moving to the third step. Again, we're going through steps to understand what is the lowest heaven, and how is it adorned, and how is it driving away the evil ones? Again, back to the verse, to the original verse. So for today, let's start with the third step. It says, "The silence and tranquility of the heavens, and their order and regularity, and the vastness and luminosity show that their inhabitants are not like those of the earth. They are obedient. They do whatever they are commanded. Because the contrary is vast, there is nothing to cause overcrowding and disputes. Their natures are pure, they are innocent, and their stations are fixed." Again, the author is continuing to talk about the angels. And now he's kind of describing them as obedient. They do whatever they're commanded. They're pure, they're innocent, and their stations are fixed. On the earth, opposites come together. Evils are mixed with good, and disputes start between them. Okay, now we're moving to the earth and how opposites come together in earth. For this reason, conflict and suffering are born, and from them examination and competition are set, and from them progress and retrogression occur. The wisdom in these facts is as follows. Okay, so now the third step so far is concerned with understanding the angels and understanding how the author perceives angels. And now he's asking us, okay, let's go to the earth and see how opposites come together. We'll move on to the next page, 193. Man is the fruit of the tree of creation. Its furthest part. Okay, before I move on, can we talk a little bit about the fruit? How does the fruit reflect the tree? Or maybe I should reword it a little more, a little differently. How is the fruit special or different from the tree? We're talking generally. What's the difference between a fruit, an apple, versus the apple tree? Go ahead, Brother Ed.
Have you thought about it? You must have some answer or a kind of reflections on it, if you like, to share them first with us. I would like to hear your comment.
Sure. I mean, well, the difference between the two, the fruit is basically the final product of the tree. We don't expect the tree to do anything more. However, the fruit has the seed. It went through the process with the tree, and is also designed in a way that when it's taken off the tree, it can still reflect everything, or it can still have the same qualities that it had when it's on the tree. So it's special in that sense. It's almost like the apple has a bit of the tree, has a bit of the seed, but also that it went through the whole process. It wasn't a fruit to begin with, but it ended as a fruit. It had the potential, of course, to be a fruit, so it became a fruit. And then it has also extra qualities than the tree and the seed, or maybe qualities that I can relate to as a human being, such as taste, or texture, or color. So it sort of builds this connection between me and the tree and the seed, and the seasons and the water and everything else. Yeah, I think that's my reflection on the fruit versus the tree.
Thank you. Thank you. Good start. Very good starting point. Yeah, as an addition to what you said on the same line, it reminds me a raffinery plant. The raw material comes there, and all the processes continues. At the end, the purest product comes at the end. The amount wise, it is very small amount, but the best quality is really concentrated in the final product. That is how the tree parable is, or example, is going to be used here. The universe has its own core, if you like, the crux of everything, the summary of everything is there. Whatever manifested in the creation, whatever the qualities we see in the creation, the same qualities are summarized in the creation of or the reality of human beings. So every human being represents what the universe has. Every fruit in its seed represents or includes in it what the rest of the tree has, all the qualities. It is just demonstrated to us how it is created, this world. So that is why now the human beings are settled down on the earth. So the human nature requires to make decisions by using their free will. So there are always two options in front of human beings. The universe is created in such a way that the human beings can interpret it in this way or another way. So we see that the way the things, the heavens and earth, including, demonstrates that in their creation, everything has direct relationship with its creator, the source of existence, and there is no conflict. But only human beings, because of their free will, they may use their qualities in the right way, or they may deny it or dismiss it, ignore it, and they may not use it. That is what the human reality is, and human relationship with the earth is. That is what, with the creation in general, while they are living in the earth. So the earth said at the beginning of the paragraph, the second paragraph, opposites come together. Evil are mixed with good. For human being, it is for human side. Yep. According to my treatment, I can turn the things into evil, make it meaningless, purposeless, or I may really see the perfection in their existence that is left to me, to human beings. But we have no excuses that, oh, I didn't know. That is why if I made a mistake, that is why I made a mistake, because I didn't have the ability to recognize what is right, what is wrong. The human beings have no excuses at all, because how the things are coming into existence, or how the things are given existence in this world, total obedience to the will of their creator. But when it comes to human beings, although they are given the ability to acknowledge the reality of existence, they may not practice it, they may distort it or ignore it. That is why we have to be very careful there on earth. According to us, opposites come together. In fact, I think we all understand is that the way a star is created is not different from the way a tree is created. Tree or any other creature, mountains or whatever, the earth, they completely, perfectly created and acts perfectly according to the perfect will of their creator, because they cannot decide. We know that they are obeying a source of existence. This source of existence, the relationship between the creation and the source of existence, has no fault whatsoever. But human beings can interpret it. I think we have to understand the conflict there, suffering, conflict, caused by human mistreatment of themselves. Nothing else. We cannot harm anything, really. We harm only ourselves. why, if we misuse our free will and do not employ our perfect qualities in our creation while we are interacting with the world, we cause conflict and suffering for ourselves. That's what I understood from the part we have read so far. And what the function of the fruit is to produce exactly like the tree, another tree. That is how the fruit is created. As far as the fruit itself, practical example of fruit itself is concerned, it doesn't deviate. It includes all the perfect qualities in its existence, so that when it is gone to a certain processes, it becomes a tree and it functions perfectly. But only human beings may not, because the fruit has no free will, but human beings have free will. I think we have to go from there. We have to watch ourselves. Why? We are perfect creation, or we are perfect in our creation, but we may not do a perfect mission on earth. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, continuing with the reading, we'll continue talking about the fruit. It is well known that the fruit of something is its most distant, most comprehensive, most delicate, and most important part. Again, its most important part. I find it very interesting that the author made that choice to call the fruit the most important part. Therefore, since man, who is the fruit of the universe, is a most comprehensive, most wonderful, most powerless, most weak, and most subtle miracle of power. So here he's describing man as the fruit of the universe, which is very comprehensive and wonderful, yet powerless, weak, and also a subtle miracle of power. Very interesting. It's like man is a miracle, but in a subtle way, but it's a miracle of power. Very contradicting qualities, or at least we call it contradicting. I don't know if it really is. But usually when you imagine power, you imagine something loud and consistent. And when you imagine something subtle, it's very quiet. So here the author is describing man as this. And then he's saying the earth, which is his cradle and dwelling place, is the heart and center of the whole universe as regards meaning and art, despite being physically small and insignificant in relation to the heavens. So what's common between the earth and the man is the universe. Man is the fruit of the universe, and earth is the heart and center of the universe. And then he continues to say, it is the exposition and exhibition place of all the miracles of art. He's talking about the earth. It's an exhibition place of all the miracles of the art, and the display and point of focus of all the manifestations of the divine names, the place of assembly and reflection of unending dominical activity. Okay, this is interesting. Even though the earth, the author is describing it as something small and insignificant to the heavens, It is the place of assembly and reflection of unending dominical activity, the means and market of boundless divine creativity, whose liberality is especially evident in the numerous small species of plants and animals. The place, in a small measure, of samples of the artifacts to be found in the truly vast worlds of the hereafter, the speedily operating workshop for eternal textiles, the vast changing place of imitation of everlasting panoramas, the narrow temporary field and tillage, rapidly raising the seeds for never-ending gardens. Wow. Okay, so normally when I think of the word earth, I guess I would think of a place in its very material way. It's a place, it has a bunch, it has resources. This is the language usually used when describing Earth. In comparison to other planets, it's good, but it's not that great. Or it's described in characteristics like heat and light, but it's never described as a place of miracles of art. So now the author is really trying to give this image to Earth. You know, it's almost like he's telling me, don't underestimate Earth. This is the heart of the universe, and don't underestimate yourself. You're actually the fruit of the universe. And even though the Earth is small, or, you know, physically small and insignificant in relation to the heavens, it is extremely important because it is it has all the manifestations of the divine names. And even though as the fruit of the universe, man can be powerless and weak, man is also comprehensive and wonderful. This is interesting because Earth is given a spiritual dimension that's usually not given to in other spaces. And then he goes on and says, or before I go on, any other reflections or questions in this particular paragraph? Okay. So then he goes to say, thus, it is because of this immaterial greatness of the earth and its importance in regard to art, that the all-wise Quran puts it on a par with the heavens. So he's saying earth has this immaterial greatness to it, and the Quran is giving it importance just like the heavens with an S. Although it is like a tiny fruit of a huge tree, it places it in one pan of a pair of scales and the whole of the rest of the universe in the other. It repeatedly says, sustainer of the heavens and the earth. Rabbu samawati wal ard. It was my first time to notice that samawati being plural and earth being one thing, a singular thing. And then he says, furthermore, the speedy, constant change and transformation of the earth, which arises from the instances of wisdom mentioned above, requires that its inhabitants undergo change in accordance with it. Now, when he's mentioning inhabitants here, I'm assuming that he's referring to everything in earth, not just human, not just man. Anything here before I continue reading? Are we all on the same page? This image that earth is the heart of the universe, and then inside of earth there is a man, and this man is the fruit of the universe, and earth is as important as the rest of the heavens. Do we see a particular meaning in this phrase, sustainer of the heavens and the earth? Does it give you a sense of security? Does it give you a sense of confusion? Okay. Let me know if anything comes up for you. And it is because this limited earth manifests unlimited miracles of power that according to their creation, and unlike other animate beings, no natural limit or restriction has been placed on the faculties and powers of man and jinn, who are its most important inhabitants. I feel like I need to repeat that sentence. So it's saying, and it is because of this limited earth manifests unlimited miracles of power that according to their creation, and unlike other animate beings, no natural limit or restriction has been placed on the faculties and powers of man and jinn, who are its most important inhabitants. As a result of this, they have manifested endless progress and endless retrogression. A great field of trial and examination has opened, from the prophets and the saints to the Nimrods and the devils. Since this is so, of course, with their boundless evil, the Pharaoh-like devils will throw stones at the heavens and its inhabitants. I got a little thrown off by this last paragraph. I mean, after explaining that man is the fruit of the universe and earth is the center of the universe, it's almost like he's trying to add to the picture this opposite side of it, that there's a great field of trial and examination. And it's the same field of trial and that examination that has both the prophets and the saints and the Nimrods and the devils. Then finally, the Pharaoh-like devils will throw stones at the heavens and its inhabitants. And he had described the inhabitants of the heavens as pure and innocent, consistently obedient. I mean, I'm asking myself, why would the Pharaoh-like devils would want to throw stones at the heavens and inhabitants? If I'm someone who's denying or who doesn't want to believe that there is something like the heavens and there is something like the angels, maybe that would make me angry and want to throw stones. I'm not sure. This is the end of the third step. So if we have any questions before we move on to the fourth. Go ahead.
I think we have a lot of things to discuss in order to understand this passage. They are all symbolic. First of all, we have to be aware that when Quran speaks, or the creator of the universe, owner of the universe, whatever you call it, Lord of the universe speaks, he speaks to human beings. So describes everything within the capacity of human beings and their ability to understand what is going in the universe as far as their living conditions are concerned. It means as far as they are created, where they are created. So Earth is our home. I mean, universe is our home, but practically speaking, Earth is our home. So taking into account that the Creator says, yes, your immediate relationship is with the Earth. You can see what is going on with naked eyes in the Earth, on the Earth, and try to understand what is going on in the creation, so that you can conclude about what your existence really represents as reality for you. So you will take attitude accordingly. So the Earth is created in such a way that there are animate beings, millions of different kinds of animate beings, and other wonderful creatures going on here. On the one side, on the other hand, the human feelings have enormous capacity to understand the reality of existence, but at the same time, they are given the option to go in the right way and utilize these human qualities, or not utilize it and take a biased attitude towards the universe, self-centric attitudes towards the creation, and try to interpret and deny the reality of existence, that the fact that they are created, so therefore they need a creator, deny all this, and declare their self-existence and freedom in their choices. So that is why it is called here, trial and examination is going on in the field of the Earth. And the Quran, as far as human capacity is concerned, equates the Earth, because he's speaking to human being. For me, the universe is wonderful. Yes, the sky is wonderful. Galaxies are wonderful, beautiful, but I don't really immediately have the access to understand what is going on in the Earth. Just looks beautiful. Yes, people try to understand it by only tracing the light beams coming and reaching the Earth. Of course, not like examining the creation of anything on the Earth. So I can see animals, I can see plants here, I can see wonderful creation on Earth and try to understand the meaning. So the conflict between the human beings, the conflict. Some people say that our existence has no purpose, no meaning. The otherwise say, yes, the prophets and those people who get education from the prophets, which are called saints, and also on the other side, Nimrods and devils represent those people who deny their human reality, human capacity, and say that just we are meaningless beings. So they throw stones, those people, Pharaoh-like devil people throw stones at the heavens and its inhabitants. It means heavens is the material appearance of the sky, the galaxies and everything, and inhabitants, I understood that the meaningful side of their existence. So they say, no, they have no meaning in their existence, and they are were really existing by themselves, so with no purpose, no meaning. With this attitude, of course, the represented in the Quran, and therefore the author of this text also says the same thing. They are throwing stones at heavens. So what will happen now in defense? The heavens, the Quran will describe that the angels, the heavens, will throw stones back to them. There will be a conflict going on there. So that we will study this, but in the summary of the beginning of this third step, the author said, this is a place of conflict. Maybe the place of conflict between those people who use their capacity, human capacity, in the right way, or some people deny their human capacity and reduce themselves to a body only. So this conflict is going on in the universe, but accordingly, human beings interpret the universe, and also universe is created in such a way that through the creation of the universe, the creator responds back to them, you cannot explain or reduce to me to an accidental being, because there is no evidence for it. You can only say there is a purpose in the existence of the universe. You cannot deny it. And the sky is a witness to this reality through their existence. Human beings will take the attitude accordingly and follow, whether they in the way that they represent the qualities of their creator and be respectful to this representation, or they will go against it, saying that there is no creator and all my feelings are just happen to be there by themselves, whatever the way they interpret it, without accepting the fact that they are created. I think we have to understand the Quran in this way, speaking to human beings within their capacity and within their living conditions. So the Quran needs to be understood according to human capacity, that the Creator is speaking according to human capacity. That is the key point. And then all the teachings of the Quran starts making sense. Otherwise, the Quran says, there's what the word, the stars and beings in the heavens are throwing stones to the Satan, Satans. So what does it symbolize? We don't see any stones, anything. So it makes sense if we understand the Quran as speaking to human beings at their level and their responsibility. From the perspective of human responsibility, the Quran speaks. So we have to interpret them, understand them, as far as our capacity allows us to do that. Thank you. I think that's all what I can share with you.
Thank you. Okay, I guess we can move to the fourth step. So the fourth step says, the all-glorious one, who is the sustainer, controller, and creator of all the worlds, has numerous principles and rules, and very many appellations, titles, and most beautiful names, which are all different. Okay. Whichever name and title necessitated sending angels to the ranks of the prophet, peace be upon him, of the prophet's companions, in order to do battle against unbelievers, also required that there should be battle between angels and devils, and contest between the good inhabitants of the heavens and the evil inhabitants of the earth. Okay, so he's building this argument that since the all-glorious one, who's the sustainer and controller and creator, has many principles and rules, has many titles, has many names, and they're all different. Now he's saying whichever name necessitated sending angels to the ranks of the prophet's companions in order to do battle against the unbelievers. So because there was battle between unbelievers and the prophet's companions, the author is saying we can almost say then there must be battle between the angels and the devils, right? And a contest between the good inhabitants of the heavens and the evil inhabitants of the earth. So the all-powerful one of glory, who holds within the grasp of his power the breathing in and breathing out of the unbelievers, does not wipe them out with a single command, a single trumpet blast. With his title of universal sustainer and names of all-wise and controller, he inaugurates a field of examination and contest. Okay, so he's saying, well, okay, he has the power to wipe them out with a single command, like he has the power of their breathing in and out of the unbelievers. But instead, what we can see is that no, there is a field of examination and contest. There is some battle. And this battle is not only evident between the unbelievers and the companions. There's a battle between the evil and the good. There's a battle between the angels and the devils. And all these battles are reflecting the different names of the Creator. This is how I'm understanding the author's argument. He goes on to say, if the comparison is not mistaken, we see that a king has numerous different titles and names in respect of the different areas of his rule. For example, in the judicature, he is known by the name of the wise judge, in the army as the commander-in-chief, and in the office of the Sheikh al-Islam as Khalifa, and in the civil service as a sultan. His obedient subjects call him gracious sovereign, while the rebellious call him all-compelling ruler. You may think of further examples. Oh, okay. So it's almost as if he's saying if we take this analogy, a king can reflect different, we can say jobs or names or qualities according to the group of people or according to the dominant, not sure what to call it. I'm guessing I'll keep it at people. All right. Thus, it sometimes happens that such an exalted king, whose subjects are all within his power, does not issue the command to execute an impotent and contemptible rebel. He sends him to court under his name of wise judge. Oh, so he's saying almost to reveal the quality of a wise judge, he needed to have subjects be reported to his court so that we become, we know of the wise judge, okay? Also, he knows a both capable and honest official who is worthy of being favored. But he does not favor him his particular knowledge by private telephone. Instead, under his titles relating to the majesty of sovereignty and expedience of government. He opens a field of competition in order to make public how deserving the official is of reward. And he gives the command to his minister and invites the people to watch. He has organized a welcoming ceremony, and as a result of a grand, elevated trial and examination, favors him in a distinguished assembly. He proclaims his worthiness. You can think of further examples in the same way. I feel like the author is trying to say that, okay, like, because the king has so many qualities, for them to be revealed, there had to be different contexts or different subjects. And to reveal the qualities of each subject, he had to give each subject a different scenario. It's almost like if you want to if you're a boss and you want your employees to reach their potentials, you give them different tasks. This reveals the employees' potentials, but it also reveals that as a boss, you have the quality of understanding or of judgment, and likewise, I guess. Thus, and God is the highest similitude, the monarch of pre-eternity and post-eternity, has numerous, most beautiful names. Through the manifestations of his glory and appearances of his beauty, he has many attributes and titles. The name, title, attribute, which necessitates the existence of light and darkness, summer and winter, and paradise and hell, require sorry, I think my internet is a bit slow. I hope you're hearing me okay. Also, numerous general laws like the law of generation, those of competition and mutual assistance, and the making general to a degree also of the law of contest. From the contest of inspirations and satanic whisperings round the heart to the contest between angels and devils on the bounds of the heavens. They require that law to be all-embracing. Okay, does this make sense to anybody? Anyone want to reflect on anything here in particular? Go ahead, brother.
I would like to hear our friends say something. I am ashamed of taking the mic and speaking a lot. I think the last paragraph summarizes the purpose of this text that we are reading so far. Now, have you noticed that at the end, everything came to the point that whisperings of inspirations and satanic whisperings are fighting around the heart to the contest between angels and devils. Now, the contest between the sky and the angels are throwing stones, symbolic, completely symbolic teaching. The stars above in the heavens are throwing stones, as the Quranic verse literally says, and also human beings deny it, reject it. It means counterattack comes from human beings, not really the real stone, but the evidence, enormous evidence, witnessings in the creation of the universe is coming to human heart, and some people may misuse their human qualities and deny these evidences and cover them up, don't see them. So ultimately, what we understand that what is the meaning of the universe coming to human beings, which is really verbally explained through the teachings of God's revelation, represented by the prophets, messengers. So the messengers are bringing the news. On the other side, whisperings of Satan, it means the possibility that human beings can imagine, may imagine that no, these are not meaningful creation. These are just accidental beings. Reduce the creation, because this battle ultimately not really happening physically in the between the sky and the earth, but really what is going on in human mind, human heart. It means the center of human feelings. So we have two tendencies there. One of them is based on a substantial evidence. The other one is possibilities that we may say, no, I don't want to take into account these evidence. They are not evidence. I just want to explain everything in a self-centric manner. It means that is how I am, that is how I exist. I'm not really responsible to any being, and my existence is a kind of existence that happened haphazardly or randomly by itself, or that is the product of the matter as well. So this is described in the Quran as the battle, severe battle between angels and devils. In human context, between believers and deniers. So the angels come to the help, to the followers, help of the followers of the prophetic mission, which are physically known here in human history as the companions of the prophet, supporters of the prophet, or with the language of the Quran, the saints, the close friends of the Creator. It means those people really acknowledge and have a peaceful relationship with their Creator. They are the saints. In the language of the Quran, we should understand the saints are when you have a peaceful relationship with your Creator, not denying His reality, then you are having a saint attitude towards reality. So we have to take all these examples and symbolic teachings of the Quran and the descriptions of this text as well, comes up to what is going on in my heart. It means in the center of my being, the representative heart is the representative of our human feelings, human consciousness, intellect, all sorts of human feelings. Which kind of attitude I should take? When I listen to what the message in physical terms and verbal terms, speech-wise, the prophets come under the witnessing of the creation and says that, look, the one who created this must have these and these qualities. So it must be your creator because you are a part of this universe. And you are not an independent being, and you have no reason to explain your existence in another way, and gives the guiding information to us how we should establish the relationship between me and my creator. But on the other hand, the devil or satanic expressions that human beings may choose by themselves in order to reject this idea, oppose it, and have a battle with it. Now, the physical battles happened in the physical life of the prophet and his companions, now going on here on earth in the civilization that we are living in, and also within our personal life in our heart. Heart says, submit yourself to your creator, intellect, reasoning, everything. But the inspiration comes and says, why should I bother? Just enjoy yourself. We think that we are enjoying, but in fact, we are reducing the value of our existence to being just born on meat. It means animal, living body. That's it. That is why we have to be very careful. We are not left alone in this world that we automatically acknowledge the truth. Although we are given the ability to acknowledge and confirm the truth, but we are given the option not to do so. That is why all the physical descriptions presented to us in the Quran, and therefore in this text that we are reading, boils down to this point that I have to be very careful what is going on within myself, which kind of attitude I am taking. That is my responsibility. In fact, the battle is going on within my heart. Although physical battle, I can see that the disbelievers, from time to time, they may physically attack the believers. They don't want them, the believers, to represent the truth so that they will feel uncomfortable. Why? Because when the truth is displayed in the life of some people or the speech of some people, they cannot bear to hear it because it disturbs them, reminds them that their attitude is really wrong. They are cheating themselves. This is very uncomfortable and discomforting. It's very discomforting for the unbelievers. But should it be the same for the believers in the opposite direction? According to my personal understanding, no. I should be sorry rather than being disturbed, because if I am sure that my attitude is based on evidence, I must feel confident about it. If someone says you are wrong, and some excuses he presents to me, some excuses, I know that they have no base at all. So I don't feel uncomfortable, but I feel sorry for this person rather than getting angry, which the Quran advises me, approach them with a nice, kind language. Don't get angry with them. Leave them alone. Just continue your understanding and spreading your understanding, representing your understanding in your personal life, and trying to introduce your understanding to others in order to save them from this denial of their reality. That is why in Islam, we have to defend ourselves. If somebody attacks me, I have to defend myself. But if someone doesn't attack me and says, I don't believe in what you say, I cannot attack them. That is why in Islam, in its essence, defense is necessary. Offensive attack is forbidden. Offensive attack is forbidden. So we have to have this principle in our life that if someone attacks me, I have to defend myself. I should come up with their counter argument. If he wants to listen to me, the Quran advises, if they don't want to listen to you, I mean, what the Quran says, if I remember the verse of the Quran, it's very interesting. رازق النفس على آثارهم. I think the verse starts like this. If someone helps me to understand, to remember the word, let me try again. فلعلك بازغ نفسك على آثارهم إن لم تؤمنوا بهذا الحديث أسفا. That's a beautiful verse and a reminder for us as well. As if you are going to destroy, kill yourself because what they are doing to you, because just you separate the truth and try to save them from misguidance, so that your fear, your how do you say the word, SFA, you are feeling so sorry, not only sorry really, the translation didn't come to my mind. You feel despair, or what do you say? You feel a kind of psychological pain, actually. There must be depressed. You are depressed because they don't follow, they don't believe the truth that you are presenting to them. They don't really take into account that they are giving you they don't take into account what they are giving, presenting them the evidence in the creation, not necessarily the Quran says so. No. Look at the universe, look at your own existence, you will understand the truth. So they are going to, because of this, you are going to try, kill yourself. No, just your duty is only present to them. That's why I am convinced, very much so, that although some historians exaggerate that Islam does something offensive as well, if necessary, no. It is against the general teachings of the Quran. We cannot attack, we cannot angry with them, but we have to try with compassion to help them if they want. But if they don't want, if they turn away from you, don't bother. As the Quran says, you cannot really make a person who doesn't want to hear what you are saying. You cannot do that. But those who want to hear and listen to you and think about it, not that they will straight away believe in you, present them and stop. That is why non-believers feel uncomfortable because they are so fragile. They have no substantial base for their claim. But that is why they need to get agitated by the way that the truth is spread, presented to them. But believers should not be in the same position because they are not fragile. They are so substantial in their belief. That is what we should understand in social context, what the Quranic teaching is here. There is a battle going on, but the battle is not taking place on the same rules or same grounds. One of them is hatred, the other one is compassion. Unbelievers hate to hear the truth, but believers, when they hear the falsehood, they say, sorry, I have to teach them. If they listen to me, that is the balance. But when it comes to our personal life, private life, so I have to take what my heart, my real human nature presents to me and follow it. When the opposite idea comes to my mind, which is inevitable, it will come. When you remember something, the opposite idea comes to your mind. You say, impossible, go away. That's it. That is how I have to be comfortable. All the whisperings, wrong whisperings, alternatives come to my mind. This is wrong. Leave it. This is baseless. I understand better when I see the mistake, how the truth is valuable. Thank you. I spoke a lot. I am sorry. The time is really up. I'm sorry. I apologize for my long speech. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to read the question in the chat box. Does author also tries to say that this battle, law, education makes God's attributes more visible and shine in front of our eyes? His attributes are already visible, but we might not see that, is why I'm saying in front of our eyes. Did you want to comment on this, Agabe, real quick?
Yeah, just because of this scenario example is given, his attributes like being sultan and opening a court, this kind of things. I just thought that maybe he's also trying to say through those things like it's becoming more shiny in front of our eyes. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you clearly. I'm so sorry. Can you repeat it? I had a lot of noise here.
Yeah, through those giving those exemplary, story of Sultan. So I thought that this is what I understood, that like it's maybe also showing his attributes like being more visible, shiny in front of our eyes, this kind of education. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think we can stop here and then we'll continue from the 5th step next time. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.